I want to go over the air ride kit we have on this bike right here. Now, all the components on this air ride system cost a little under $500. And I'm going to run you through all those components here so that way in case you ever want to do it on another bike that you're doing, you kind of know what you're going to do. And that way you got an idea of like what parts I used and everything like that. So first to start off, these are C3 Corvette air shocks. Now, I moved the mount. It could have worked there, but I wanted to make sure if they were at full extension and full slam, nothing was going to get hit. Now, when we come all the way down, we're actually bumping on here. But if we didn't actually have that, because you can actually move the caliper back, we could actually come down another 2.5 inches. But it already comes down pretty low. But these are C3 Corvette air shocks, and the only thing I had to do was modify this tail end and the fitting side. And we could have got a fitting that fit, found that out later, but I ended up epoxying one on and getting that to work. Now, other than those C3 Corvette air shocks, you need to get a compressor in there. I chose to use the Via Air 375C. Now, it's a great compressor. Now, mind you, when I say that, it comes up and down super fast because we're going tankless. We don't have a tank on this bike at all. Our tank is the compressor, the line all the way to this check valve, and then it's this set of lines, and these are actual tanks. So you don't need an actual tank if your compressor is big enough to just zap it up, zap it down. And with such small little like air shocks, you can just boop, boop, boop. And you don't need to have all that. Now our relays, I just ran regular standard duty relays because that's basically an air compressor you'd put in your cigarette lighter. Minus all the plastic casing and everything. I like using the 375C. It's a really great compressor, so highly, highly recommend that. This is a US solid dump valve. They're decent valves. Now that's off of the T in the line, and off of that, I run it down to another fitting set. It's hard to see. But I come out and I'm actually just restricting the air that's coming out of that right there, because it's just like a little pinhole right in the end of that fitting. And inside of that, I got a Scotch-Brite to restrict the air coming out so it doesn't come down as fast, make it come down slower. So then we've got our controls up here. And everything else is literally right there. There's your T to both the sides. I left it a little long in there because he wants to put an air fitting on later so we can air up tires and other stuff with the motorcycle, help other people on the road. So I'm going to kick the key on real quick. Got all our underglow lights. Got everything lit up all over. Looks super cool. I love it. But everything's looking good. Now when we come up with the compressor, all we have to do is hit our button. Oh, not the button. Kick the button on. You see she starts coming up. And we shut her down right there. Now we're coming down. The air is going to come out of our dump valve and shoot out of there. So, and that's why it's so much quieter now. And if I'm up on this, it takes a moment for it to move. But that whole kit and that whole setup was literally under $500. So, and it's a nice setup. Like, I really love how everything turned out on this. It is super, super clean. But I'm happy. We've got the actual new part right there. So we can actually fix the tank and we can get her going on the road and get everything going. We had her out today. I was showing the owner. He was taking some cool looks at her and he's in love with her. I'm in love with her. It's been a good day. Been over here working on stuff, getting all the bolts and everything else set. I'm actually going to air this up real quick because I don't like how it sits because it's leaning quite a bit and I could tip that bike if I wanted to. So we want to come back up. He's got to fix the kickstand. So if he had a little bit shorter of a kickstand on there, we wouldn't have this issue. So that's one of the things we got to work on this bike. So you shorten up that stand, then when he's all the way down, don't have to worry about it. Right now he has to leave it with it aired up. A few other ways he could fix it, but it's best fix, honestly. But I was replacing some of these bolts, getting all the wiring gear ready to go in. We're going to start putting the stereo back in, get all the wiring going to get these lights and everything else working. But digging through bolts and trying to find all the right hardware today. It's been a pretty busy day, pretty good day. Super happy we got the parts for that and we can get that thing done now. So just slowly knocking them off the list, slowly taking care of things. It has been a fun-filled day. And on that note, I'm going to call it. But if you guys have any questions on the air ride on this, please ask. I don't mind helping you. This is a quick, easy, fun kit. Like, you can do it yourself budget-wise. You bring in a fabricator, you're going to kick up your price because you got to do a lot of work. This is, do not do a Sabre. I will let you know that. Honda Shadow, fine. Magna, fine. VTX, fine. Sabres have zero room. And when I mean zero room, everything is crammed into this tiny, tiny, tiny space. And that includes your battery, your airbox, everything else like that. If we stroll over here to this motorcycle, we've got room for days. Room for days. VTX, much easier to air ride. Sabre, this is probably the only Sabre on the planet that has air ride because it is such an ass pain to fit it in all the little spots and get the lines ran and get everything to work. I had to move a lot of components to make this work. But in the end, I'm super stoked. But I love you guys. And me and the puppy will see you tomorrow. You say bye, Rat Rod. Bye, Rat Rod. I love you. Bye.